Building a $10,000 a month Amazon business is easier than you probably think, but almost everyone is going about it in the wrong way. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 10 most important things that you need to do to hit your goals on Amazon. Let's talk about all the nitty-gritty detail that you need to know, what products to sell, how to find them, and how to actually scale your business to $10,000 a month and beyond. No reason to just keep talking about it though. Let's jump into the computer here and go over some specific actionable steps that you can take to start right now. Let's just get started with the basics here. So the first and probably the most important thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to start selling the low-hanging fruit when it comes to starting on Amazon. And for most people, that's going to be selling big name brand products that people already know and already buy a lot of on Amazon. Because when we've got items like this, we got a nice sale going on, we can buy them for like $4 or so per item. And over on Amazon, this exact same thing is selling for $30.34. So let's do some quick math. This is like a 3-pack of these deodorants here. We're getting them for $5.50 each. And then we also have a 20% off coupon, so we can apply that. And you can see when we apply all that using our discounts, looking at name brand stuff that people already sell, we're going to be able to make $6 profit every single time this item sells. And so instead of going out and creating your own product or working with big wholesalers, those things definitely can work, but it's not the low-hanging fruit, and it's by far the hardest way to scale to that first $10,000 a month. Selling big name brand products that people are already buying is definitely the way to go. And let's go ahead and take this a step further and use this profitable item to find more winning items that we can sell in our store as well. So finding items on Amazon is all about finding similar opportunity, and SellerAmp is the tool that I use to source basically all of my profitable products. I've sold over $5 million of name brand products, literally just buying from big retailers like this. It's absolutely scalable. And let's dive in. Based on the fact that these sellers on SellerAmp, you can see everyone else who's selling this listing, since they have done the work of finding profitable items like this at other retail websites, when I dive into their storefront here, there's going to be other profitable products where I can probably go ahead and check it out and see if I might be making some money, right? So for example, we got like this video game here. We need to buy it for about $15 for us to make our ideal profit. Let's see if we can do that. Actually, it seems like we might be making some money on the first item here. So let's check this out. So this is $13 on Amazon. The price is $31. So let's just do a quick double check on this. Sweet. So we got 31 bucks popping up here as our price, and we can sell these big name brand products. We'll talk about how to actually get approved to sell these as well, of course. But let's see. So $12.98 right there. Sweet. So this would be something good for us to sell. Seems like I need to get ungated, but we'll talk about how you can do that. Perfect. So we're making $4.60 profit on this. I didn't even expect to find something based on the first item there, because usually what I like to do, and this is taking it a step further, is once I've found a profitable item with a specific brand that's also on sale. So for example, Harry's, we know is 20% off today at this website. I like to specifically just zero in on that brand and try to find more products based on that similar opportunity. So it's adjacent opportunity is how I like to think about it. So based on the fact that we know where we can probably get some of this cheaply today, let's see if we might be able to make some money. So this right here, when I Google, it's not popping up. Let me take this and we will search that brand's website though. And on their website, it looks like we got these for $7.60 plus a 20% coupon. Let's see if these are profitable as well. So these are selling for $35 on Amazon right now. Let's see what we need to buy them for. So plugging in $7.70 as our cost right here, and we need 3 bottles of these, and we have a 20% coupon. Not quite profitable, so we're going to go ahead and keep moving on. This is that original product we already came from on the storefront, and then it looks like we actually have some more of these deodorants. I bet we're going to be making some profit on these. Let's see. Yeah, so $5.49 right there. These are selling for $51 as a 6-pack. A lot of times the stuff we sell on Amazon, it doesn't really make much sense to me either, but long as the data shows it's profitable, that's the big thing to keep in mind. So let's see, $5.49 on this times 6. And then since we also have that coupon, we can do times 0.80. And so right here, we're making a little over $9 a unit selling this product. And it's all just because we've found one opportunity. And then based on that one opportunity, we can find a lot more opportunity basically, right? And by the way, if you want to see me find a ton more winning items, I've got lots more important stuff to cover with you guys here today, but I've got lots more videos on the channel that you can dive into, because that brings me to point number 2 about getting approved to sell these big products, right? Because a lot of people think that ungating is impossible. Let's go ahead and just jump back into the computer here and we'll see how that works, right? This brand, for example, Harry's that we've been looking at, this is how you can tell if your account is already allowed to sell a certain brand. So when I search that brand, it says sell this product. If I try to plug in a brand that I'm not ungated to sell, or I can't list without getting approved to sell it first, I'm going to go in here and say apply to sell. For example, like Milwaukee is a brand that I am not ungated to sell in my store. But if I wanted to get ungated in Milwaukee or Harry's or all these brands that we're looking at, I just go ahead and click apply to sell, request approval. And then once I get here, it's going to ask me for an invoice from a legit retailer or distributor, that kind of thing. And in my case, Vitacost would be my distributor if I was trying to get ungated in Harry's. If I was trying to get ungated in Milwaukee, I'm probably sourcing from Lowe's or Home Depot or just like a regular tool website. And once you have all that, you'll just go ahead and take the invoice that you get from your your supplier, take the tracking information. Sometimes I like to take a picture of the item when it shows up as well, drop all that into this file drop off right here. And then if you do get any denials, that's normal to get a couple denials when you try to sell a new brand. Just keep applying. It's one of those things where Amazon just rewards persistence. So keep applying on these brands if you do get denied first. This is how I've done every single brand ungate. And I hear a lot of people, they'll try once and be like, oh, I can't sell anything on Amazon, right? Just have a little bit of confidence and keep it rolling there. And before we go into this next key point, I want to let you know real quick that you want to get registered for this free training down below. We do them every couple weeks. So even if this date is passed when you're watching this video, make sure you go check it out. We do tons of live sourcing with you. We show you some sourcing methods that we don't typically share on YouTube. We want to keep those private to those of you guys who show up live and hang out with us. And we'll go over the full game plan of scaling your Amazon business. Whether you're a newbie or a pro Amazon seller, you'll probably want to be on there. You'll pick up some gems that'll help you scale. So get registered for free down below. Let's jump on to the next point. So the third thing that is super important for you to get your first $10,000 on Amazon is to remember that you need to make sales as soon as possible. Your brain is just not going to let you take this seriously where you're going out and spending like thousands of dollars on random junk until you start seeing those sales roll in. I see it time and time again. New Amazon sellers, they come in, they're like, oh, I'm learning for a long time, or they're just not prioritizing making those quick sales. They don't get hooked as fast. And if you don't get hooked on selling products, you don't get hooked on making money, right? So let me show you a couple things that'll help you make money a lot faster, specifically starting with selling products. So let me show you the types of products that you want to be on the lookout for to make those sales as fast as possible. And this is where the different ways that we can sell products on Amazon comes into play. So we have two different ways. We have Amazon FBM, where we're the ones who store everything at our house and we ship it to the customers when it sells. And then we have Amazon FBA, which is what's going on right here. So you see it says ships from Amazon, sold by this random small company, probably somebody like you and I. And the reason why this difference is important is because if you want to make money as fast as possible on Amazon, you need to look for items that you can do Amazon FBM on. The reason is when that product shows up at your house, instead of shipping it off to Amazon, waiting a couple weeks for that item to check in, be available for sale, as soon as this is listed on the listing, you can immediately start making sales. Sometimes like I've found some products in the store I listed on Amazon and it's already selling like before I've even checked out. And that's just not possible with Amazon FBA. But there's one quick check you need to do before you can actually make money as an Amazon FBM seller. And that's just check the buy box analysis on SellerAmp. So this is showing me over the last 90 days who has made the sales, what fulfillment type they were, when they made the sale, what percentage of the sales they have over the last 90 days. A lot of powerful data here. And this is showing me a couple things, right? So this number one shows me that Amazon is giving sales to basically anyone that'll list products on this listing, right? There's 73 sellers that have made sales in the last 90 days here. So great product to sell if you're a beginner. There's not really much worry of having competition that's too big or anything like that. And then we can also see that this is an item that's very friendly to us making those quick sales, right? Because when I look at the type right here, I can see just now an FBM seller made a sale an hour ago, 4 hours ago, 7 hours ago, 10 hours ago. And it takes me like until 24 hours ago to see the last time an FBA seller actually made a sale on this listing, right? So this is extremely friendly to being sold by FBM sellers. If we compare that to one of these other items we were looking at, you're probably going to see a lot more FBA, right? So I see, when was the last time an FBM seller got sales? So 4 weeks ago, right? So whenever possible, sell listings that are FBM friendly. You can make that quicker cash flow. And if it's not FBM friendly, make sure you're using Boxem to create your FBA shipments, right? The reason for that is we can use this feature right here called 2D barcodes on the box contents. And when I list items through Boxem, this software, by the way, just tracks all your profit and basically is the whole back end of your business. This is how I actually create shipments and send products to Amazon. And one of the big reasons for that is I can create 2D barcodes. Those just are an extra label that goes on the labels that already get created as you're creating a shipment. If you want to see the whole step-by-step creation of a shipment, you can go watch that video after you watch this one. But specifically, this is very important if you want those quick sales, if you're prioritizing making money as fast as possible, because these little barcodes, they basically go on the box and they just help Amazon see what's inside the box a little bit easier. And for my business, this has led to me making sales a couple days faster on average versus not using Boxem to create shipments. So I make money faster. I beat competition to the listings when I use Boxem as well. So this is definitely something you'll want to check out if making money quicker is a priority for you. This next major key to succeeding is something that very few of you guys are even going to be willing to do. It took me a long time to be comfortable with this, but what it did is it took me from selling about $20,000 to $25,000 a month to selling over $160,000 in less than a year. And that thing is simply talking to other Amazon sellers. And yes, I know very few of you guys are going to take this seriously, but those of you who do are going to make a lot more money. And I want to show you a couple just quick examples of people who've done a great job of that. One of them, his name is Ryan. He started selling not too long ago. So I wanted to show a recent example and find somebody who's been crushing it for a long time. He's literally just like sharing the group chat, showing some sales he's got going on. And the reason why this is so valuable, not trying to educate anyone, literally he's just like sharing some jokes about selling on Amazon. This is extremely valuable because what this is doing is it's showing other people who are similar to Ryan that he's serious about selling on Amazon. And if you reach out to Ryan and you're at the same sales level, that kind of thing, probably going to be a good opportunity to make some money together. For me, when I started making videos like this one right here, sharing what I was up to on Instagram, I was just like selling used books and doing whatever I could, right? But that connected me with lots of other super smart Amazon sellers that showed me how to do things like get ungated to sell a bunch of the big brands. That was like a top secret thing back in the day. We were able to communicate on, hey, I'm selling this product at this website. What are you working on? And having 1 or 2 extra people on some of your listings, sharing your ideas with you, that's not going to take away a significant amount of money, but having other people share what they're up to is going to add a ton of cash flow and a ton of ideas to your business as you go. And just so you can see another good example, this is Sam. She's been in the game for quite a while. She did like over $1 million in her first year. I've got a full interview with her on the channel as well, but she's literally just sharing what she's up to, showing her sales, sending some flowers to a wholesale distributor, that kind of thing. Literally just showing people that she's serious about this. And it's a good way to just get out there in the community and have people know that you're serious, so that when you need help and you want to reach out to another Amazon seller, they're like, all right, I see that Sam is serious. Let me give him a good answer. And I know the more socially anxious among you just completely ignored that. You're never going to act on that. That's fine. Just be aware that you're going to make less money if you try to be a lone wolf as an Amazon seller. But if you are someone who's taking that seriously, go ahead and just post your journey on social media, whatever you're comfortable with. I've also got a free Discord community, a free Facebook down below. Go join those groups, start talking to other Amazon sellers, and you'll start to see the benefit when you have other people to help you out with questions, talk you off a ledge when something's going wrong in your business. All that kind of stuff is going to pop up, and it gets way easier when you have friends. The 5th thing to remember as you're scaling your business to $10,000 a month is that you learn by doing, not by watching. So hopefully I'm not calling too many of you guys out right now, but I know that a couple of you guys are way too deep on the YouTube binge. This is YouTube video like 500 about selling products on Amazon or making money online, and you still haven't actually just done something, right? So don't get stuck in that info paralysis. Spend 3 to 5 hours watching YouTube videos, learning how to source, learning how to do the basics, and then just go practice, right? You're not going to learn how to shoot a basketball by watching YouTube for 100 hours. You learn by going out and doing it, right? So if that's you and you're stuck on the YouTube binge, go get after it, go start sourcing, do what we did in step 1 today. Because after you have the basic education, the only way that you can get better as an Amazon seller is by doing. The next thing to keep in mind as you're scaling your business is just remember that as a business owner, you are going to have to solve problems. You are going to have roadblocks. Things are going to come up in the way. And so for Amazon sellers, that can mean everything from a brand starting to sell on a listing. You can't sell on that listing anymore. It can be a customer leaving a review where they thought you sent them like a fake item, even though it's obviously not fake. And then you have to go through a whole appeals process to submit documents, show that you're actually buying legitimate inventory. There are roadblocks with selling on Amazon. There are roadblocks with any way of making money online. So just keep that in mind right now, is that you are a problem solver as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. If you're the type of person who, when something comes up, you have to ask somebody about it every single time, or you're not able to quickly solve problems, then starting a business might not be right for you, at least right now. So just be aware that the best Amazon sellers are problem solvers. They're self-starters. They're able to get stuff done. And then of course, when those problems do actually come up, this takes me right back to that point I was emphasizing earlier. If you have that guy or gal in your life who's another Amazon seller, they're on that journey with you, life gets way easier. So if you're worried about not knowing how to source that next product or not knowing how to handle a wrench that Amazon might throw at you, take me seriously, go talk to some other Amazon sellers and get that 1 to 2 close Amazon seller friends that you can chat with. The next thing I want you to keep in mind is a little bit more tactical. So let's go ahead and jump back into the computer here. And I want to show you a way that you're going to be able to basically use the work that you're doing right now and never forget a profitable item that's going to be good later on, right? So everything that you look at isn't going to be profitable right at the second you're looking at it. For example, like here's a crayons pack or something like that. Right now it's $7. This is the type of item you can buy for $3 or $4. So obviously I don't want to lose 3 pennies every time I make a sale. But when I zoom out, I can see, okay, this makes sense. It's a very like back to school Crayola type product. And on the Keepa chart, I can see that the sales rank went way down, which means it was a much faster seller during back to school season. And then I can also see that price shot way up, right? So it makes total sense that something like very back to school focused sells way faster and sells for more money during back to school season. If I zoom out, I can also see here's last back to school season. It was like a $12 item, but usually outside of back to school season, it's like a $7 item, right? You're going to come across a ton of these items. Don't just be like, oh, it's not good today, forget about it and never come back. Super simple trick to make sure that you are actually taking advantage of this is just go down on SellerAmp to the Google Sheets tab and just create custom sheets for holidays. If you ever have like people working for you, just have a Google Sheet where they can send all their leads to it. Leads where it was out of stock when you checked it, or leads that were like almost good when you were looking at it. For example, here, like back to school type product, I would just go ahead and click that, and then it's going to automatically send that item to my back to school spreadsheet here. So when back to school rolls around, instead of being on a completely clean slate, I can just basically look back at all the work I've already done. And it's a major key to not forget about work that you've already done in the past, because at the end of the day, being a business owner is all about building those systems and doing things so that you make more and more money with less and less time spent over time. And this is one of those things that'll help you do that. The next thing to keep in mind as you're scaling is that you can't be too cool for school to just make money in the simplest way possible. So what I mean by this is I see a lot of guys and gals, they'll start selling on Amazon and they've seen it on YouTube, or they just have a, I don't know, maybe an inflated ego a little bit. They're like, oh, I can only make my own brand and I only want to call wholesalers and start spending $100,000 this month, right? Okay, you can definitely do that. You're probably going to make some expensive mistakes. Where on the flip side, the person who's willing to just get that quick proof of concept, do what it takes to start making money, they're going to succeed more in the long run. They're not going to get as overwhelmed as that person who feels like they have to create their own brand and make their own marketing and all that kind of thing. And tactically, what I mean by this is even if this OA online arbitrage stuff we're doing seems complicated, like clicking around to websites, the absolute lowest hanging fruit of making money on Amazon is literally just sitting at local retail stores. So for example, let's say you live in Orlando, right? There are a ton of Ross and Marshalls and outlet stores, all this kind of thing, right? And all you need to do is pull out the SellerAmp app, go start scanning some discounted products on the shelves. And this works way better for the brand new Amazon seller than doing online arbitrage, because it's literally just a game of who's willing to go drive out to the store and scan the items that are super discounted on the shelves, right? It's not a game of, oh, I got to find this coupon with the right multi-pack that sells pretty well on Amazon. That's more the game of online arbitrage. So if you just want the simplest way of getting to start making that money, go hit your local Ross, outlet store, anything like that. In fact, to show you what I mean by this, let's cut to a past trip that I made to my local Ross, and I'll show you a profitable item that I found so you can replicate similar things. So I grabbed something like this, for example. It's on clearance for $3 and I scanned it with the SellerAmp app, and you can see it sells 52 times a month. I'm also going to be selling it for about $15. So after it's all said and done, I'll make almost $5 profit selling this item. Not too bad at all. We also don't have a ton of competitors here, and they're all even more expensive than that by cost, right? So this is a pretty good example of just like a quick base hit product that I'd go ahead and send into Amazon. So hopefully that quick example makes sense. I would really encourage you to just go hit the store today, start scanning some stuff with SellerAmp. You can see lots of other products like that. And if you're someone who likes that hands-on experience, it's just the easiest way to learn. And that brings me to the next thing you need to keep in mind as you're growing your business. And that's that you are working hard now so that you can work less later. A lot of people, when they start selling on Amazon, they get in, they expect like passive income. They've seen people flashing Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff on Instagram. But the reality is that selling products on Amazon is hard work in the early days. But I personally would never start a business, and I don't want you guys to start a business that involves 24/7 hustling, making phone calls, going out to the store, looking at the website every single day. Because in the long run, after you've mastered the business, after you're spending plenty of money, you've got plenty of money sitting on the sidelines, you're able to start outsourcing a lot of things. So this is actually how my Amazon business is run now. In the early days, I was spending a lot of time sourcing products. I was a student as well. And after a couple years in the game, I've hired people to source all the products for me. I've hired people to buy all the products for me. I've hired a prep center to receive and ship out all those items for me. And so now in the last year, I've done about $2.5 million in sales, and it's taken me about 30 minutes a day of my time. But that is only because I worked really hard in the early days to understand every single step of the business, so that as I wanted to start pulling myself out and be a true business owner, I was able to train people, show them exactly what to do. And now, since I believed in the long-term vision of an Amazon business where you maybe don't make a crazy hourly wage in the early days, but you will later on if you start taking things seriously, building systems, I've gotten my own time obligation in my business down to about 30 minutes a day. So really big thing to remember is work really hard now. It's going to be hard on the short term. It's going to take a lot of effort, but in the long run, it's not always going to be that way. And you can absolutely build a legitimate business out of this and not just a constant side hustle kind of thing. So before we talk about the last and probably the most important point of all of this, please hit the subscribe button if you found this valuable so far. It's my goal to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and get that shiny 100,000 subscriber YouTube flag. And now that you've got that taken care of, the 10th and maybe the most important thing to keep in mind is that the confident Amazon seller wins almost every time over the Amazon seller that isn't. I get lots of questions from new Amazon sellers about, ooh, is this invoice perfect for getting ungated, or should I buy 2 units or 4 units of this product? The answer with most of these things is almost always just go do it, go try it. So as far as ungating goes, submit whatever you got. The worst they can do is decline the invoice and you add more things. The Amazon seller that's confident enough to put themselves out there on social media, they're going to have lots of other smart Amazon sellers coming to them. The Amazon seller that's confident enough to watch a YouTube video one day and immediately be buying products the next day just to see how it goes, they're going to make money a lot faster than the person that has to study everything for weeks and and weeks before they get started. So you don't want to be super reckless and study nothing and have no idea what's going on. But the guy or gal that just goes out there and confidently just starts spending money wins every single time over the person that's watching tens of hours of videos and they feel like they have to get a bookkeeping service in place before they're ever making any money. Like, just go make the money, be confident about it, and then everything else will fall in place as you figure it out. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have any questions at all, feel free to drop those down below. I'm always happy to chat with you guys down there. There's also tons of free resources down there. There's a completely free Amazon course. We have a free Discord community. There's free spreadsheets of the suppliers that I like to buy from, over 1,800 brands that you can try to get auto-ungated to sell. So go learn as much for free as possible in the description right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button while you're down there as well. And YouTube algorithm thinks you need to watch this video next to keep making money online.